The 2020 presidential election is now less than a year away, and the Democratic nomination in that race is still wide open. A recent poll from the key state of Iowa shows the top Democratic candidates are all bunched up at the top. Elizabeth Warren, Bernie Sanders, Pete Buttigieg, and Joe Biden, all within a few points of each other. Ed O'Keefe is in Des Moines. Ed, good morning. So what does this poll say to you?
Well, Tony, what's happening here is a little bit different than what's going on nationally, because Buttigieg is starting to spend millions of dollars he raised over the summer. But the Biden campaign points out they've raised millions as well, and they've just launched an advertising campaign they think will help. One thing we noticed over the weekend, the candidates are starting to go after each other a little more. It all started with something Mayor Buttigieg had to say.
You see it's coming into focus, you and Warren.
Yeah, and certainly a world where we're getting somewhere is that world, where it's coming down to the two of us. Obviously,
Indiana Mayor Pete Buttigieg is indeed on the rise here in Iowa, but he's not alone, with new polling showing that former Vice President Joe Biden and Senators Elizabeth Warren and Bernie Sanders maintain a grip on the top spots in the race for president. On Sunday, Buttigieg backtracked, telling CBSN it's not yet a two-way race.
Yeah, that didn't come out right. I can't remember the exact context for that.
But not before other candidates shot down his theory.
It's naive for him to think that at this point the fate of this election has been determined. But it's very important that anyone who wants to be a leader has the ability to walk and talk with every community.
Hello.
That's a knock on Buttigieg's weak standing with Black and Latino voters. Candidates like Julian Castro say the party needs a nominee who can get them to the polls.
If that person can't connect with those communities, they simply should not be at the top of the ticket. It's too risky.
Meanwhile, the top issue of conversation this weekend, health care, and Warren's plan to pay for it, which would divert the funds employers currently pay private health care companies to the government and increase taxes on the wealthy.
It doesn't raise taxes on anybody but billionaires. And you know what? The billionaires can afford it, and I don't call them middle class.
Moderates like Joe Biden are skeptical and say that they would instead just build on Obamacare. Even Bernie Sanders, the architect of Medicare for All, admits that he would raise taxes on people to pay for the plan, but that ultimately your copays and deductibles would go down.